Shalom. Call all y'all doing Shalom. Shalom to the left. It's just a quick video. I ain't gonna go too much more, or too long on the topic, I should say. But I just want to touch on this point. Go to this article I read. Somebody shared with me. Let me see here. Go right here. Now it says Elon Musk's Neuralink brain computer startup is beat again. This time a competitor implanted its device into its first U.S. patient. So this shit moving quick. Oh, why the scriptures say the day should be short for the elect sake. This year don't flew by, man. It seems like this year just started. Sorry, it's about to be August. So Elon Musk's Neuralink brain computer startup has yet to receive approval from the Federal Drug Administration to implant this technology in humans. However, Neuralink's competitor Synchron has implanted its first device into the brain of a U.S. patient. In this case, one with ALS, a neurodegenerative disease that's affected the patient's ability to move and speak. So look, they're gonna use this shit to make people believe, oh man, this can make you jump higher. This can give you some strength. This can make you smarter. Hell, it can even help you store information on. Oh, it's gonna help you by yourself, just like the other Quran that go in your hand. Let me read on smoke. It says the hope is that the patient will be able to browse the web and communicate through email and text just by thinking. The device will translate the patient's thoughts into action through commands sent to the computer. Now I'm gonna try to see how long I'm gonna keep this video up because I don't know if Esau gonna take this shit down. Y'all know how Esau get in. That says Synchron had already implanted his devices in 4 patients in Australia. These patients are reported by Bloomberg to have no side effects yet. Not yet though, but they're coming though. It says in the device has allowed them to send messages through WhatsApp and make online. Ooh, hey, you can't get around this shit, man. Hold on, let me go to it, man. Cause see, I ain't even read this article. I just happened to click on the top part. Somebody sent it to me on Twitter. Let me go to it real quick. Let me go to this precept. You already know where I'm going at. See, hey, we that much closer, man. It's in the Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 15. I'm sorry, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Which is going to happen because you have people that's going to go against this shit. They're not taking primarily the elect. A lot of people, some people going to get put to death for that. Some people going to be martyrs to see how much your faith really is. It's just, your spirit don't die, your flesh die. The Most High control the spirit. So Esau so-called putting people to death, not really putting nobody to death. Their spirit just going back into the spiritual realm. Now it says, in verse 16, he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the, you know what, I already done said it anyway, so that's what it is. I just said the correct one, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 603.6. Now some people try to say, what you call that shit? The carbon man is the amount of carbon or whatever they try to say is 666 in a man or whatever. That's what make up a man. Which has some scientific fact behind that, but this is not talking about that. This is talking about this. Let me go back to it. It says, Synchron had already planted its devices in the 4 patients in Australia. These patients are reported by Bloomberg to have no side effects, and the device has allowed them to send messages through WhatsApp and make online purchases. So look, while there's other shit been going on, see, look, I ain't know about Synchron. I already knew about Neuralink. I never heard of this Synchron shit. They've been behind the scenes doing shit though. It said Synchron had received FDA approval in July 2021 to begin a human trial of its Stentro device to insert into the brains of 6 patients. Remember that number 6 again? It says the Stentro can be inserted into the brain without cutting into the patient's skull or damaging their tissue. A doctor makes an incision in the patient's neck. From there, the Stentro, with the help of the catheter, is placed into the blood vessel within the motor cortex, an area involved in the planning, control, and execution of voluntary movements. Let me see what else they got on there. Once the device is implanted, a second procedure connects it to a computer device implanted in the patient's chest. So they just making fucking Terminators out here, basically. They said the central reads the signal produced by neurons firing in the brain, and then it sends a signal to the computer device, which sends it to the computer or phone through Bluetooth. Meanwhile, the Neuralink is working to develop a surgical robot to implant a small dish-shaped device in a patient's brain. This device will then process and filter signals on the embedded computer chips. That says, although it's human trial in the U.S. is the first to synchronize. See, it's here, man. Like the dude say, it's June. Man, look, we in August, man. It's here, man. It says, it's like end of July, but we close to August. Put it that way. It says, it's human trial in the U.S. is a first for synchronized device. It's not a first in the field. The Utah array, the microelectrode array technology, that is a small silicone square with 100 needles that are pushed into the brain when implanted, has been standard for relaying electrical signals from a brain to computer since its development in 1992 by researchers at the University of Utah. Till last year, it was only FDA approved BCI, or brain-computer interface, and it has shown significant results, like allowing paraplegics to control robot arms. So man, hey, look, I ain't even gonna go too far into it. The rest of this article, I'm trying to make sure. Let me see if I can say this right. Save this link right here. So you aqua that may be listening and tune in and go read the rest of this for yourself. Here's here, man. And this ain't no made up fairy tale. This ain't no myth. The scripture's not no myth. It's not a lie. The Most High is moving, making stuff move. So yeah, I'm gonna appreciate it in my end. So the book of Revelation chapter 16, verse 2, I end this off with this right. It says, and the first one to pour out his vial upon the earth, and there fell anointing a grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast upon them which worship his image. And that's what's gonna happen, man. You take that and you're not making it up out of here. They don't put it in and cut it out later, none of that shit either, like people try to say. So I just want to bring this up. I want to write this out. This edifying call on you. How about you? Shalom to the left.